Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading. So you might be interested in that. Well, how's everybody doing? I just finished a good 5 mile run. Just a great day so far. Enjoying the Bitcoin pullback, and we've got a lot to talk about with that. But just to remind you all, by the way, happy Friday. My home base is at cryptoinfluencers.com, so you can follow my videos here. If you decide to join the pros, it's also just right here. So cryptoinfluencers.com is kind of where I do all of my stuff. And welcome to the handful of people that have joined. Pretty cool. It's really cool to have you guys come. It's fun to get your opinions. We get this fresh inflow of people with all this enthusiasm, and I have to chill everyone out and be like, no, stop trading so much. You're gonna kill yourself. So anyway, it's good times. Good times. But yeah, so we just had the best day ever. Pulled back really strong, and now we've got this day forming. Closes in 3.5 hours. And the question is, what is happening? I thought we were just going straight down. We were going to go down and find some averages down here. Why did we stop for a full 24 hours right here? Is this a reversal? Are we going to go straight back up? Is everything bullish? If you look at the altcoin market thinks it's bullish. And what I think is happening is that alts got really hot. Bitcoin kind of pulled back, dropped everything a bit, but didn't really impact. I mean, it impacted alts quite a bit, but alts are now experiencing a bull trap. Almost all the way across the board, we've hit a really, really big high during Bitcoin's bull trap. This was the bull trap for Bitcoin. During this move, alts really ran for the fences, and then they've popped down with Bitcoin, and now they're all kind of rallying a little bit, but I think we're going to see alts coming down. So I'm pretty happy to be out of all of my longs for the time being. I'm definitely looking for long entry points. I only have a handful of select shorts right now because there's just less. The risk reward on shorts are just not great right now. It's better to be waiting patiently and looking for longs, and that's kind of where my opinion is. But let's investigate this. Why would we have gone down so intensely and we've just completely flattened out? Well, S&P sort of did the same thing, because even though we started high, when S&P bleeds all day long, it does impact Bitcoin. And then we've been positive on S&P. I actually think that I think we'll pull back down to this line and look for support. Whenever you cross a giant important resistance line, you usually come back. Before you get too excited, you come back and find it as support. So I'm betting next week we'll have some more down, and we'll tag this, and then I think we're probably going to start marching onward and upward. So that's kind of my opinion on the broad market. But Bitcoin, it looks like it's just stopped. It's hovering in outer space. There are some things to point to. We have this point here. The very high of the tip of this candle is 21,473. The very low today was 21,534. So these have not intersected. We don't see an intersection here yet, which means there is another drop for sure. This is not our low. But I have a couple of reasons why, and these are just technical reasons. I'm not looking at news. I'm not looking at anything like that. First of all, on the 4-hour chart, which is our Wyckoff, you couldn't see the Wyckoff really well here. I mean, you can kind of, but it's really hard to see. The Wyckoff distribution happened on the 4-hour. This was our Wyckoff. And so all this magic that was happening on the 4-hour is still playing out. And what we did is we dropped down to the only place that makes any kind of sense. We have a 200 period moving average right here. So we dropped pretty good, came down close, went up a teeny bit, and then we pulled back pretty hard and bounced. So we finally touched the 200 and bounced really hard, and this kind of was a fake out. And then it took us another candle and a half, and we finally dropped below. This candle is likely resistance, even though it peaked above. I'm not sure how this will completely play out, but the one thing you have to remember, and I'll bring this up actually. I'll just pull this over. In the Wyckoff, we don't expect things to just go 100% one direction all the time. Let me just bring this over so you can see. So if this is our trading range and this is our support area, we will drop away from it, which we've totally experienced this. We've totally experienced a drop away from this line, but there is a period where we find another kind of a dead cat bounce. Things don't just go straight down to like the accumulation phase. It just doesn't happen like that. There's always a little zigzag, and we've moved only one direction. Like this, our pull to the median was so small, like we didn't even reach our prior resistance very well. So this I'm considering a full unidirectional move, including our current candle. All of this is one way. So what we will likely see is a pullback up above this high. So let me move this off, and I'll zoom in a little bit. We will probably find some candles that close above this high. And this high was the close was 21,900. So we'll probably peak up above 21,900. Could be anywhere in here, 22,200, somewhere in there. And then we'll come back down, and then we'll probably see the final flush out of this thing. And why would that be the case? Well, because if your goal is to mark down the price of an asset, what you want to do is you want to create another round of fear. And fear thrives on the anticipation of a way out, and then having that destroyed. It's pretty brutal. This is why people aren't really successful at trading, because you're just getting run around emotionally. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, is we will slowly trace up, and people in people's minds, it'll be, oh, hey, we're slowly climbing. Oh, we're getting out of this. Okay, cool. We're making progress. Oh yeah, we've overcome this. We're starting to move up. There's strength in the market. We're going back to bull season or whatever, and then we'll start turning around, and it'll be like, oh crap. And then when we break a new low, it's pure panic. And this is if we just panicked, if we just fell from here, there would be less of an emotional reaction if we dangled a carrot of hope in front of us and then created the crash. It's brutal, but it's reality. So we can't be impatient and think, hey, this move's over, because it's not over. There's going to be some kind of a move up, and then markets will continue. They'll drop back to here, and then we'll have another sharp drop. I can just see it happening. You always have to take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I'm not 100% right every time, but there are definite emotions at play. And it's when you take an objective stand back and look at the markets, you see these things playing out a lot more obviously than when you're in the thick of it. You're in a trade, you need it to go a certain way, you're hoping for something, and then the market, pulls you around and stresses you out. So I'm not entirely sure. We could reject here and fall, like that's completely on the table. But no matter whether we fall here or if we pull up a little bit here, there's going to be a pull up, and it's going to have to be obvious. These are all lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. All of these are lower. We're going to get a higher high, and then we're going to drop again. That's how this usually works out. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. As for why we stopped here, this is kind of the only thing to point to, because this is too high, right? Our price action's down here. The very best case, we should have dropped to 21,300 before we consolidated. But normally it would be in the mix, of this. So pretty much 21,000 and 21,100 or something should have been where we stopped. But there's some other things at play, and I'll show you. On the daily, I'm looking at the daily. This particular chart was our trading range back here. So we did, touch this as respect, but I still feel like we've gone up so high, we're not just going to end in the top third of this. I really feel like our midpoint, like low 20,000s, is probably the sweet spot for this move. But let's look at the total market cap. We've slipped below $1 trillion. Look at that. We've slipped below $1 trillion. The total market cap includes all coins and all the value of all the coins. And look where we fell to. The 200-week moving average. That is a very clear, defined point to fall to. This is major. This is way bigger than a 200-period moving average on a 4-hour. I mean, it makes sense for Bitcoin, but it doesn't make sense for the rest of the market. And the total market cap has pulled back to here, which completely makes sense. We should struggle with this level. If we fall further, which I believe we will, just because we're too high, there has to be an emotional transition to get across a weekly move like this. If I turn on the weekly chart, you can see what we've done. So we have pulled back to the weekly, and I just feel like, I mean, anything can happen. It's Friday. Like, we could literally end the week here, and then we could go down and tag the monthly and then pull back up. Like, there's some stuff going on here. So this is on the table. So that makes perfect sense that we would move so violently and then completely stop. So that's one reason. If you take out Bitcoin and Ethereum and look at the alt market, it pulled back to the 200-week. So there's a reason for the entire market cap of all altcoins to stop here too. So this move makes sense, and it's totally fine to hesitate here. But can you see the bull trap in this chart? I'll just point it out in case it's not obvious. But right here, we had a pretty close flip from resistance to support, right? Well, what's the next move? Because normally you go from resistance to support. So we break the resistance, we pop up, we come back, find it as support, and wherever we stopped becomes our new level. So we resisted here to come back and find it as support. We break through that resistance and come back and find this level as support. And then here's our new resistance. We come up, we break it, we break through this resistance and find it as support. We have stair-stepped perfectly up this chart, perfectly. Now what? Well, this is our resistance. What's supposed to happen is we are supposed to go through this and find it as support. This is what's supposed to happen. That didn't happen. This is a momentum shift. Something has changed in our momentum. Is it devastating? No, like we're really high. But how does this normally play out? Like are we just gonna, oh, well, that was fun, let's just get out of here? No, our momentum's different. what will likely happen is we will come back up and find resistance at our original spot right here. And then we're going to fall. And once we regroup, if we're bullish, we could probably easily find support on this level here. So this is the breakdown. This is a potential bull trap, and this is where the target is. So even the it makes sense that we'd have stopped here. So I'll just erase all my stuff. It makes perfect sense that we would have stopped at the 200, and we can even take a breather, but there's just a lot of things wrong here. We're rejecting. Today's rejection was on the 20. So we've come up, we're finding a rejection point. This is getting weak. So we've got another move down on the altcoin market. If I look at others, these are micro caps, same story. You can just see it clear as day. Boom, there's your level. Boom, there's your level. Boom, there's your level. And we slipped through it. We did not continue up. And we did reject on the 200 week moving average. So that's interesting. But look what we stopped at, 200 day. So it makes perfect sense to hesitate here. Is this full-on support? No, it's not. There's a change in momentum that's happened. So we're going to fall back down, and we've got a ways to go. If we look at the total market cap from our current price to the 50, that is a 13% drop. So the entire market cap's got a pretty decent beating to have. 10% across a giant market cap is a huge number. And same thing with the total market cap. We went from, we broke the trillion up here, and we're gonna at some point we're gonna slip through this. I don't know if we rise up and then break it, but we'll probably come down and find support on the 200. There's a golden cross happening, so we're pulling into the golden cross, and that is 5-6% down. So the total market cap has a ways to fall. And even if we fell to there, it would still be bullish because we're above the 50% mark on this move. So, yeah, makes perfect sense, right? Are we going to stay there forever? No, we've got some things. We're gonna hesitate here, but there is a very high chance that we find support on the 50. Almost all of these charts corroborate a support level right down in here. So. Yeah, we're going to get our pullback, but I'm being very patient through this. I want, when I do enter my trade, I want it to be on an upswing, not on a downswing. And we're downswinging still. We just barely had this cross. In fact, this cross, the rejection off of the 20, it isn't even official. 3 hours and 15 minutes from now it will be, because this candle will close. Because on this candle we were still open. It'll close here. So very fun, very interesting. There's a lot of nuance here, but don't get all excited that this move is over, because it's not. At least in my opinion. The more confident a person is, the more humble pie they get to eat. So anyway, that's kind of an interesting thing. Ethereum's kind of interesting, because there is no death cross on the weekly. We just have a 50-week moving average coming down, but we have a 200-week coming up. We do have the golden cross in place. This will probably bounce a lot earlier. I still think the target of about 1450 is pretty darn solid. But yeah, if we pull back down into here, it would be nice if we consolidated for a while. Seriously, a month in this area would be really great. And then we'd be ready to really rock and roll. Like, it would be gloves off right here. So a lot of those things are really interesting. Bitcoin dominance has pulled back quite a bit. If Bitcoin dominance bounces off the 50 and continues to rise, that just means that alts will take a pretty solid beating through this pullback. And alts right now are doing sort of a bull trap. They're pulling up more than Bitcoin. So I think they're going to have their little move down, which means, sorry about my throat, which means Bitcoin dominance is probably going to start rising. And even if it's temporary, we'll probably reject off of the 20 or something in here. But yeah, there's no there. We're kind of in a strange place because tops are found in green zones, and so the exit from green to yellow is confirmation that that we're dropping, but tops are found in green zones, so it's a pretty good split. I think when I enter my longs, I'll probably be 50% Bitcoin, 50% Ethereum, just because this isn't giving a very clear direction. Others dominance has hesitated on the 200-day, and it's pulling back, but pretty soon, if Bitcoin or if the microcaps pull down just another, 1.5%, pulls down to here, which is all they need. They just need a little breather. This is when I'm going to go in heavy on alts too. So there's a lot of reasons why this is launchpad zone. We've got resistance here, or excuse me, support here, flip to resistance all through here and on this high, and then we popped above it. We're going to come back and confirm it, and then we're out of here. So you can see it all playing out, but it does take patience. As a trader, it's easy to get impatient. Oh, the move's over. We had our 1 day of relief after a month of upside. Our 1 day is not it. That's not it. We've got 3 weeks of downside somewhere in here. And it's easy to see. You can see that this is our line. Not too hard to see that. Which means if we go sideways, or if we dip down and pull up, we have a long ways to go. We could have a full rejection off of this line. There's a lot of movement here. By the time we actually cross this line, this is worst case scenario because we're going to cross it before here. But this is a 39-day move. We're not going to be there. We'll probably exit around here, but this is literally a month away. So don't get too excited. All right. There's your depressing news for you. But you know what? The emotional side of trading is more than half the battle. So even if this doesn't make a change in your actual trading, just being informed and emotionally ready really helps you clear your mind and make wise decisions. So hopefully that helps. All right, you guys, this is good for today. I will catch you, tomorrow's Saturday. I really have been having a hard time on my Saturday videos, so I might be seeing you Monday. I better not make any promises, but looks good. We kind of feel it. We kind of have a good idea of what the market could do. With thinner markets over the weekend, we may see more bleeding. I'm not sure, but either way, a 1 day pullback is probably not it. So that's kind of my opinion. All right, you guys, we'll catch you later. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.